It started small, a little slip-up, the kind of thing you do, then immediately feel that familiar pang of guilt. And somewhere along the way, I started keeping score. Like God needed a written record, so I made one for him. 1 mark for the mess-up, and over here, a big number. Grace left, like a balance I could spend down. It felt responsible, honestly. Spiritual, even. Look how seriously I take my sin. But I'd gotten one huge thing completely wrong. I thought grace was a balance, a limited amount. Spend too much, and one day, you'd run out. And life being life, the marks kept coming. The little impatience, the white lie. The thing I said I'd never do again, and did again. And every time I added a mark on the left, I imagined the number on the right ticking down, closer to 0. And the math started to scare me. At this rate, I was going to be spiritually broke by Thursday. And here's where it got twisted. I stopped running to God when I messed up. I started running away, hiding the board, hiding from him. Like a kid hiding a bad report card, as if covering up the score would make it untrue. I couldn't even look up. I figured he was up there with his own scoreboard, tallying, disappointed, tapping his foot. And the guilt didn't make me better. It just made me tired and quietly kind of hopeless. And then a thought showed up. A dangerous one. If I'm going to run out of grace anyway, why even try? First, I tried to earn it back, buy back the grace I'd spent. Extra good deeds, extra church, spiritual overtime. But it never balanced. For every good deed, I'd noticed 3 new mess-ups I'd missed. The left column always won. Trying to outgive my own debt was exhausting. I was working so hard to earn something I could never actually afford. So the marks piled up, the board filled up, and in my head, that grace number kept sliding toward empty. It got so big, I couldn't even fit it on the board anymore. And the number, in my mind, it hit 0. 0 grace. That's it. Game over. I'd done it. I'd actually used God all the way up. And that hopelessness curdled into something uglier, a reckless, bitter little dare. I thought, fine, if I'm already maxed out, let's just see how far this goes. Let's see if I can actually out-sin God's grace. So I tried. I leaned into every petty, selfish, ugly impulse I'd been resisting, just to overload the system. Just to prove grace had a limit. But here's what nobody warns you about. Sin doesn't even feel good when you're doing it to make a point. It just feels hollow and lonely. And the further I pushed, the worse I felt. Not because I was running out of grace, but because I was running away from the only one who actually loved me. I finally just stopped. Chalk on the floor. Nothing left to prove. I'd tried to out-sin God, and all I'd done was exhaust myself. And from down there, on the floor, completely out of options, I said the most honest prayer I'd ever prayed. Just 3 words. God, I'm sorry. And I braced for it. The lecture, the anger, the I told you so, the bill for everything I owed. But it didn't come. Instead, the room got warm. The light came up. And it wasn't angry light. It was the warmest thing I'd ever felt. And then the light moved toward the board, toward all those marks, toward the proof of everything I'd done wrong. And one by one, the marks just vanished, wiped clean, like they'd never been there at all. The whole left column, gone. And where the grace number used to be, there was just one word now, glowing. Paid, not balance restored, not try harder next time. Paid in full by someone else a long time ago. Because that's the thing about grace I'd gotten so backwards. It was never a balance in my account. It was a debt paid by his. I'd been trying to out-sin a thing that has no bottom. You can't drain an ocean with a teaspoon? And grace? Grace is the ocean. Where my sin increased, his grace increased all the more. Not because my sin is no big deal, but because his love is just that much bigger. Now, careful here, because part of me went, oh great, unlimited grace? Then sin doesn't matter. I can do whatever I want. And the answer to that is no, by no means. Because once you've actually felt that grace, really felt it, you don't want to keep hurting the one who paid for you. Grace doesn't make you want to sin more. It makes you want to sin less. The scoreboard was never Dodd's idea. It was mine. He was never keeping score the way I was. He'd already settled the whole account. So I retired the scoreboard. I didn't need it anymore. Living by a tally sheet isn't faith. It's accounting. Instead, I started spending time with the one who paid the bill. Not out of fear of running out of gratitude that I never could. And the biggest change? When I mess up now, and I still do, I don't run and hide the board. I run to him because I finally know what's waiting there. Not a bill, a welcome. There's a strange freedom in realizing you could never deserve it in the first place. If you can't earn it, then you can't unearn it either. And no, that doesn't mean I get a free pass to be terrible. It means I get a fresh start to become better. There's a world of difference. I still do good things, but now they pour out of being loved, not as desperate payments to be loved. Same actions, completely different heart. I spent so long terrified I'd used him up, when the whole time he was just waiting for me to stop counting and let him love me. That board still sits in the corner, wiped clean. A reminder, not of how much I owe, but of how much was already paid. So if you've ever felt like you've used up your chances, like you're too far gone, too much of a repeat offender, listen close. 1, you cannot out-sin God's grace. It's not a balance you spend down. It's a gift with no ceiling. 2, but that's not a loophole to abuse. It's a love to respond to. Grace frees you from sin, not for it. And 3, when you fall, and you will, don't hide the scoreboard. Run to him. There's no bill at his door. Just open arms. Stop trying to balance a debt that's already marked paid. That's not humility. It's calling his sacrifice not enough. There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. None. Not for your worst day. Not for your 100th repeat. None. So whatever mark you're staring at right now, convinced it's the one that finally crossed the line, let me tell you, the line was already crossed by him. For you. You can stop running. You can stop counting. You can stop trying to out-sin a love that has no edges. Come home. The board's already wiped. The light's already on. And he's been waiting at the door the whole time. Where sin increased, grace increased all the more. That's not a loophole. That's the gospel. I tried to out-sin God's grace, and I lost. Thank God I lost. It's the best thing I ever failed at. Man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. And his word over you today is simple. Paid. Forgiven. Mine. So put down the chalk, step away from the scoreboard, and let yourself be loved by a grace you could never, ever exhaust. And then go live like someone who's been forgiven that much. Lighter, kinder, free. Whatever you're carrying today, you don't have to earn your way back. The way was already made. Just walk it. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Now, go let yourself off that hook. He already did. Before you go, if this sets something free in you today, smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow.